OpenAI times Dr. Pradeep K. Suri, consultant to OpenAI. License ID DNNAI 0810 Suri v1.0 generated September 15, 2025, 7:05 p.m. IST. Cognitive Cube 6D Governance 7D Predictive 8D. Ethical 9D Strategic. Incoming Quality Control, IQC, and Vendor NC Handling. Management Brief. Incoming Quality Control, IQC, and Vendor NC Handling 6D, 9D Dashboard. Management Brief. Powered by 3D, 10D AIDNN Engine OpenAI times Dr. Pradeep K. Suri, consultant to OpenAI, license ID DNNAI 0810 Suri version v1.0 generated September 15, 2025, 6:58 p.m. IST. What this dashboard answers, at a glance. Are incoming materials safe for production today? Conformance vs quarantine. Where are defects coming from? Pareto by category. What are we doing about NC lots? Rework/return/sort flow. Which vendors are strong/weak and improving or slipping? Radar plus KPIs. Will vendor risk disrupt us next month? Short range forecast. Are suppliers closing NCS inside SLA with effective kappa? NC log and kappa. Filters, top bar. Vendor, part, date range. Use these to slice the entire page. Every KPI and chart recalculates. Typical use, show last 30 to 45 days for gamma fasteners, part P3307. KPI cards, top row. Conformance rate, % of lots accepted at IQC. Target example, greater than or equal to 98%, tune for your plant. Quarantined lots, count/% immediate production risk indicator, triggers containment and alternates. Average defect ppm, weighted by lot quantity, comparable across vendors/parts. NC closed within SLA, % NCS closed on time, example less than or equal to 5 days. Vendors at risk, count of vendors crossing risk threshold, example greater than or equal to 3 risk events in window. Management use, if conformance dips or quarantine spikes, trigger same-day cross-check with production and planning for alternate/safety stock. Lots, received vs accepted vs quarantined. Daily trend of accepted vs quarantined lots. Read it like this: a stacked rise on quarantined bars means immediate containment load and potential line stoppage risk. A steady accepted stream with low quarantine equals stable vendors and inspected parts. Decision: if quarantines cluster on certain dates, check the NC log for that range and see which vendor/part is driving it. Pareto defects by category. 80/20ths breakdown of NC categories: dimensional, functional, cosmetic, documentation, packaging, plus cumulative %. Focus kappa reviews on the leftmost bars, largest contributors. Assign category owners and agree specific countermeasures with suppliers. Vendor risk forecast, next 4 weeks. Shows daily risk events, quarantine or very high ppm, a moving average, MA, and a 4-week naive forecast. If MA is rising, risk is building; if flat/falling, controls are working. Decision: if trend is up, preempt release alternates, increase incoming sampling, escalate kappa reviews. Sankey NC lots rightward arrow action path. Where NC lots go: rework, return, or sort. Management lens: high return implies strong stance but potential supply gaps, ensure alternates. High rework/sort implies hidden internal cost and line-side disruption. 6D rightward arrow 7D tie-in, governance gate logs disposition, predictive suggests alternate/safety stock if return threatens production. Vendor scorecard radar. Axes: defect ppm, inverted, response SLA, faster, kappa effectiveness. Pick a vendor via filter and review shape over time. You want a balanced, large polygon. Short/uneven spokes signal the improvement area. NC log and kappa table. Top 12 recent NCS with vendor, part, lot, category, action, ppm, slot days, and an open 8D button, demo. Use it to spot repeat categories per vendor/part, check SLA breaches, and verify kappa effectiveness, no recurrence. Governance and ethics mapping, 6D, 9D. 6D governance. Auto quarantine for NC lots. Mandatory approval trails for disposition, quality rightward arrow production rightward arrow SCM. 8D/kappa linkage captured in system of record. 7D predictive. Risk forecast drives proactive alternates and safety stock. Dynamic sampling plans, tighten/loosen by vendor risk. 8D. Ethical. Transparent vendor scorecards. Fair, explainable metrics, ppm, SLA, kappa, with shared visibility. 9D strategic. Vendor performance feeds sourcing decisions and long-term partnerships. Supports dual sourcing and category strategies. How to run a 15-minute weekly review. 1. Start with KPIs, 2 minutes conformance, quarantine percent, SLA percent, at-risk vendors. 2. Pareto, 4 minutes top 2 categories rightward arrow assign specific countermeasures. 3. Vendor radar, 4 minutes 1 to 2 week vendors rightward arrow agree kappa due dates. 4. Forecast, 3 minutes if rising, confirm alternate/safety stock actions. 5. Close, 2 minutes summarize owner plus deadline for each action. Typical thresholds, tune per commodity/plant. Metric typical threshold. Conformance rate greater than or equal to 98%. Quarantine percent less than or equal to 1 to 2%. Average ppm vendor/commodity target, example less than or equal to 500 for precision parts. SLA, NC closure, greater than or equal to 90% closed in less than or equal to 5 days. At-risk vendor flag greater than or equal to 3 risk events in window, or trend breach. Data required to wire this to ERP/MES. Incoming lots, vendor, part, lot, date, quantity. Inspection results, pass/fail, defect category, ppm/defect counts. NC workflow, disposition, rework/return/sort, timestamps, approvers. Supplier responses, acknowledgement time, closure time, kappa summary, effectiveness check. Optional enhancements. Coke panel, internal vs external failure cost, Indian rupee/month. AQL overlay, show plan used per lot on tooltips. Export buttons, CSV/XLSX for NC log and vendor scorecard. Recurrence heat map, category times vendor matrix to spot chronic issues. Auto emails, one-click vendor notification with embedded 8D template. Role-based views, ops, today, quality, root causes, SCM, sourcing impact, CXO, trend and risk. Annexure SOP/AQL references. This annexure provides additional reference notes for incoming quality control and vendor NC handling. Sampling based on ISO 2859/ANSI/ASQZ 1.4 AQL standards. Critical defects, AQL 0.065 or lower, no tolerance. Major defects, AQL 0.40 to 1.0, industry/commodity dependent. Minor defects, AQL 1.5 to 4.0 depending on customer tolerance. Non-conforming, NC, material must be quarantined until disposition is approved. All 8D. Kappa actions must be logged in ERP/MES with governance gates, quality head, production head. Dr. Pradeep K. Suri.